From gorgeous Ann Arbor, Michigan, this is WCBN Sports with coverage of Michigan softball. I'm Owen Crain alongside Josh Tenzer. Tenzer, it's been a while since we were in the softball booth.
Truly has. First time for me.
And the leaves might be changing color here in Ann Arbor, but the crowd is out here and ready. What I would call an inner full house. The outfield stands are empty. The inside stands back behind home plate are full. And Tenzer, we have some storylines to watch for today.
We certainly do. Carol Hutchinson, after years and years of being the University of Michigan softball coach, brought them to countless Big Ten championships, a national championship in 2005. She has retired. The new head coach, Bonnie Tholl, she has been with the program for a very long time. Tholl played with Michigan as a shortstop from 88 to 91, where she made Big Ten Team of the Decade, that decade being the 82 to 92 Team of the Decade. And she was an assistant coach with Michigan from 94 to 2002. She was associate head coach from 2003 to 2022 for 20 seasons. And this season, she will be the head coach. This is what the exhibition games are for. Learning your players, seeing what works, what doesn't work, what you like to do as a head coach. It's a real exciting time for a Michigan softball fan.
Absolutely. Hutchins, a storied coach. She'll go down in Michigan history as one of the greatest throughout the whole athletics department, bringing the team to a national championship in 2005 and numerous, too many to count, Big Ten championships. I'm just reading these off the scoreboard right now. And Tholl was there for quite a few of those as well. Today on the mound, Lauren Dorkowski, the sophomore, takes her first start of the fall season here. The righty from Elmhurst, Illinois, steps up. We have our first batter today from Toledo. First pitch.
Outside ball, looks like.
Did look like an outside ball. Didn't want to get ahead of myself.
That's a strike, though.
They'll mark it for a strike. Looks like the ump is just going to be yelling. That's too bad for us. So 0-1 the count. Dorkowski returns to the mound. Winds up. She'll deal. That one called for strike two. No swing once more.
It's a ball.
We're going to get that. We'll get the hang of this here, Tenzer. That's on me. So Dorkowski back on the mound. Wind up. She'll deal. Called strike two. No swing once more. It's Munson, wearing number 12 at the plate for Toledo. They did not give us first names, so we are just here to figure it out as we go. 2-1 the count.
Lauren Dorkowski last year with a 2.21 ERA.
Dorkowski deals, bring the count to 3-1 as it's far and away. Wolverine infielders moving in with each pitch. 3-1 the count. 6:05 p.m. as we get started here. The 3-1 swing and a miss.
The first strikeout of the day for Lauren Dorkowski. Last year. Nope, it's a ball.
Well, so something on the scoreboard, they might have been doing it wrong because they had it at 3-1. So that brings us to a full count here. So Dorkowski returns to the mound. She'll deal. This one popped up into the air. Under it, and catching it is Melina Livingston at second. Wolverines have their first out of the inning and for the fall exhibition season.
Dorkowski was 3-3 last season with through 19 appearances. Started just 5 games, starting this one. So she came in as reliever a lot last year. The question is, are we going to see more of that tendency from her as we get to the spring season? Is she going to still be a reliever, sometimes a starter?
Not a bad start for a sophomore. She'll deal to Mara, wearing number 9 for Toledo. Called strike one, no swing. Oh, 0-1 the count. She'll move the ball in her hand. She has her sign. Steps back, winds up. That one outside, called ball one.
Being from Ohio, the Toledo fans have traveled to come here. There was a large contingency of them, specifically for Dixon, the right fielder. We'll see her later in the lineup.
Not too far of a drive, but definitely committed to the team. Swing and a miss on the 1-1 there from Dorkowski. So Mara falling behind in the count with 1 out.
Aaliyah Mara, the graduate student, actually came from Rutgers to Toledo.
So jumping out of the Big Ten to face a Big Ten team, and she'll go down looking on the 1-2. Dorkowski with her first strikeout of the game. Wolverines put 2 away here, need 1 more. That 1 more could be Kroll, wearing number 5, also playing position 5 on the field. So Kroll, a lefty, steps up to the box. Behind her is Kiki Tholl at catcher for the Wolverines. Here's Dorkowski, first pitch, high and inside.
That was the first strikeout of the game for Dorkowski. She had 43 on the season last year in 44.2 innings pitched, so not a bad K per 9 rate.
And not a bad start for a freshman. Here's the 1-0. High, this time outside.
Her opposing batting average, just a 182.
That's not bad at all. And we'll see her grow not only in the fall season, but excited to watch her this spring. 2-0 the count. She's back on the rubber. Here's the windup. That one's in for strike 1. No swing there from Kroll.
It's a lot of speed on that pitch. Not a lot of movement. Just a fastball straight down the gutter.
Hopefully it doesn't come through too well. I don't have too much experience with softball and the different pitch types, but she is putting these away. She'll change the speed up there. That one looks like it should have been a strike to me. It looks like called ball 3.
Perhaps just a bit too far outside.
Must have
been. And the 3-1 is a batter's count. You know that Dorkowski's going to try to put it in the strike zone.
Here's the 3-1. Check swing, called ball 4. Kroll will take a free ride to first, and Toledo has a runner for the first time so far this match. This will bring up Reid.
Just what I was about to say. That's Aubrey Reid, the graduate student, older sister of outfielder Annika Reid. 2 of them out of Birchwood, Tennessee. Last year, Reid had a 280 batting average in 43 games played. Asks for time and steps out.
She'll step out. She's a lefty. Take a few swings here with one hand. Steps back into the box in the back. Taps the bat down. Dorkowski winds up. She'll deal. It's called strike 1. Now that fastball just blew right by Reid there.
Reid had a career-high 24 RBIs last year. Good player to have as your cleanup spot. 6 home runs through the 43 games.
So the 0-1 outside. Kroll taking herself a lead after each pitch. She gets back to first quite quickly. Nothing too much to draw Kiki Tholl's attention behind the mound. Or the plate.
Just a step or two off of first base.
Here's the 1-1. Off speed. Called strike 2. Still no swing. So Dorkowski's count here.
Reid, a patient batter, waiting for a pitch she really likes, even if she lets a couple strikes go.
1-2, wind up. That one's high and outside. Even the count at 2.
With every pitch, Kroll takes off running towards second. Stops short. Hey, it's 2 outs, run on anything.
Here's the 2-2. That one, little bit of a check swing there, almost fouled off actually into the Toledo dugout. Nothing too dangerous there, but a few players had to shift out of the way. Count will stick at 2-2. Only the second time anyone's made contact with Dorkowski so far. She'll wind up and deal. Down the middle, called strike 3, and the Wolverines retire the side.
You're a pitcher, not a bad way to do it. 2 strikeouts. You did have a walk, but we're seeing promising things from Dorkowski. And now the Wolverines, Mattia, Leclerc, and Sealer, the 3 up to bat.
Now, you give up a walk, but it's been a while since you've been in this much of a game environment. It's In the MLB, if a team doesn't start too hot in the first week, no one's calling them out. Dorkowski gives up 1 walk, but she strikes out 2. Someone makes contact. That one's a quick blooper to second. The Wolverines just retire the side with ease.
Absolutely. Ellie Mattia, she'll be leading off. She's the graduate student, an outfielder, lefty. She graduated from Boston College before coming to the Wolverines. She had a bachelor's degree in business and has no statistics available for her on MGO Blue.
Now, BC, fantastic baseball school. I can't speak to their how they perform in softball, but I can't, I'm sure it's pretty similar. I'm sure they have a very strong softball program, and coming to the Michigan Wolverines, we're excited to have her.
They're also fantastic in hockey.
Yes.
Boston College.
BC, BU, 2 hockey powerhouses, and we'll have that BU matchup coming in a few weeks on CBN.
We're also going to have Harvard during Thanksgiving season, another Beantown school coming to visit.
We've got half the Bean Pot coming up to Ann Arbor this year.
Yeah.
And, of course, both of us will be on plenty of hockey calls this season.
Absolutely.
Very much looking forward to it. Now, I know you're doing 2 softball games tomorrow, so you can't possibly be doing hockey in addition to that, right?
I am not doing.
Okay, good.
No.
I'm just checking in for your mental health.
Yeah, thank you.
At this point.
No, I've only done one three-sport day. That was a time.
That 1 sport day is tough.
Anyway, Mattia had a .353 batting average in her senior year at Boston College. She takes this one inside for ball 1.
She's the type of batter who will start moving on the pitch, shifting up in the box. So she'll start far back. She's a lefty. Swings on the second one she sees. That one's foul down the third base side. Bounces off the wall. Evens the count out at 1-1.
She's not a power hitter, only hitting 3 home runs in her 4 years total at Boston College with the Eagles.
I like how she's so new they don't have a real photo of her. They're just using essentially a selfie. She'll knock one up through the middle, make it to first. So the Wolverines' first at-bat of the game, first hit of the game. That one essentially just right on top of second base. So a single for Mattia with Audrey LeClaire stepping up.
Gets just to the right of the pitcher and through the hole between second and shortstop. Couldn't have placed it better. She's a contact hitter. She seems to aim her balls where she wants them to go, and it's done well to get herself a single to lead off.
LeClaire makes contact on the first pitch she sees, fouls it down the first base side just a few inches to the right-hand side of first. The senior's also a lefty.
Made the All-Big Ten second team last year in the utility position. Today, she is playing at third.
She'll take the 0-1. It's low and away.
Another contact hitter, .323 batting average last year. Much improved from 167 the year before in just 6 at-bats, so small sample size there.
She'll bunt on the 1-1. Sprinting to first, she'll be called out there. Quick grab for Toledo. But she'll move Mattia over to second. I wouldn't call that one necessarily close, but it was a great effort running down the line. That ball perfectly placed, too. It's just Toledo was ready for it. So Mattia on second, LeClaire out on the bunt. This will bring up Ellie Sealer. Sealer, the third lefty we've seen so far, steps in, takes strike 1 here. Sealer takes a moment, steps out of the box, drops the shoulders to relax. She'll step back into the box. Here's the windup. Fastball down the middle, called strike 2. So Sealer will fall to 0-2 in the count.
Sealer, a native to Michigan. She's from Monroe. Made the all-freshman team last year, looking to take a big step forward with her sophomore year.
Swing and a miss on the 0-2. We'll take Sealer down. 2 outs now. Matthias still on second for the Wolverines. So it's going to come down to Melina Livingston to either knock her in or keep the Wolverines alive.
Another Michigan native, Melina Livingston, is from Harris Township, another player who made the All Big Ten second team. Appeared in 49 games, 28 of them at second base.
Swing and a miss on her first pitch. Brings the count to 0-1. It's Sophia Knight on the mound for Toledo, by the way. The sophomore from New Philadelphia, Ohio. It's done well so far. 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 1 bunt out there. The 0-1 is low and away.
Good eye on the check swing. Able to pull her bat back just in the nick of time. Didn't cross the plate.
So Livingston steps out for a moment. She'll re-enter the box. Knight winds up and deals. Swing fouled back. That ball will exit the playing area and head back behind the grandstand. And Tenzer, I don't know if it's one of my favorite or I find it really interesting, is that the press box is on the first base line here, not behind home plate. Definitely makes our vantage a little tougher.
I like the unique perspective.
1-2 knocked. This one down the first base line, and that will head out.
Ends up in the home bullpen.
Foul territory there. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. I was just going to say, I like that it's a unique point of view for us here in the press box.
Definitely a unique view. 1-2, Knight deals. Called. Ball 2, evens the count out. You could hear the Wolverine faithful. They're liking the call. This umpire seems to be hitting his mark so far. So Livingston back in the box. Knight deals. She'll get a piece of this one. Bobbled by the shortstop. Is she in time? She is. It gets away from the first baseman. Sprinting back to first.
That'll be called, I assume, as 2 errors on the shortstop for Toledo. That would be Griffith. Bobbled the catch on the ground out, a routine play, and then she threw low on her throw to first base by rushing the throw. The ball ended up past the first baseman, Ryan, allowing Wolverines leadoff hitter, Mattia, to come from second and score. Wolverines take a 1-0 lead early in the first. So a rare double error.
Double error, 2 outs. Ellie Mattia will score for Michigan, and play resumes with Kiki Tholl in the box. Swinging righty, wearing number 2 for the Wolverines. The junior will step out for a moment after taking the first pitch for ball 1. She'll step back in, winds up. She's near the front of the box. Here's the 1-0. It's high. That's going to get away from the catcher. Livingston will take second with ease.
Livingston reaches first on an error and reaches second on a wild pitch. They don't ask you how, they ask you how many. And
exactly.
For Livingston, she's gotten to second base.
Hey, just advance. That's the name of the game here. So Tholl up 2-0 in the count. Knight will deal. Tholl will pop this one straight up. Third baseman's under it. It'll get away from her. And this will allow Livingston to score. Meanwhile, Kiki Tholl makes it to second. Are you kidding me?
I am at a loss for words right now.
Now that's a routine play.
A routine, yeah, a routine fly ball. The third baseman had plenty of time to get under it. Stood there. The runner wasn't turning away. Livingston got out of the way in time. She moved around the fielder. I'm astounded.
It's 3 errors that quick in a row when the Wolverines looked dead in the water there with 2 outs. It's definitely a change in pace early. I mean, Michigan wasn't doing anything poorly. It's just it didn't look like this was going to be their inning. Meanwhile, now, Wolverines have 2 on the board, scored for the past 3 minutes off of some just routine errors from Toledo. Indiana Langford will step into the box, excuse me. Lefty fouls off the first one she sees, that one in the netting on the third base side.
Langford, one of the few freshmen playing today, comes to us by way of Poway, California, and named the Palomar League Rookie of the Year in 2019, as well as first team All Palomar League.
All right. Excited to see her grow as a freshman with the Wolverines. She'll take the 1-0 for ball 2.
She was ranked as the 36th prospect coming into college, that ranking by extra innings.
All right. Knight will deal. Foul tip back into the catcher's vest. I think the scoreboard's wrong here because she did, if I'm correct, she fouled that one off into the netting, right? They don't have a strike on the board. I think the count's 1 and 2.
We'll find out.
Yeah, can't see the umpire's hands from our vantage point, but we'll call it 1-2. Knight deals. Check swing. Will foul the ball back into the netting once more.
Either way, now it's a 1-2 count for sure.
Definitely a 1-2 now.
It all has a way of working itself out, doesn't it?
Really does. So 1-2 the count for sure this time. Langford back in the box. She's at about the midpoint of the batter's box. And Knight will take a moment and step out.
Defensively, Langford can play both in the infield and the outfield. They don't have her marked as a utility player, though, so there's probably something defensive-wise that she is missing.
1-2's high. Evens the count out at 2. And I mean, it's hard to determine what will happen with a player in the fall games this series, but absolutely very excited to see all of these new freshmen grow with the program this spring. Here's the 2-2. That one's low and away. Brings us to a full count with a runner on second.
Fun fact about Indiana Langford, her favorite TV show is Survivor.
All right. Are you a Survivor guy?
I'm a big Survivor guy. I haven't seen this most recent episode, but I love Survivor.
3-2. That one low and away. Langford take a walk on to first. So runners on first and second for the Wolverines with 2 outs. And things aren't looking nearly as good for Sophia Knight as they were at the start of the inning.
And it's not even necessarily her fault. You had, for cleanup for Livingston, there was the error by the shortstop. That should have been the inning. Then the very next batter, Tholl, had a pop-up that should have been the end of the inning, an error from the third baseman. I mean,
it's just she's not receiving the support from her infielders that she deserves here.
And now her pitch count just keeps on going up and up in a inning that should have been over 3 batters ago.
Fantucci will swing on the 0-1, fouls it off right over the press box.
Got to keep an eye out.
Yeah. Keep a steady head. We've got the window open today. We're enjoying this fine Ann Arbor fall weather. And, of course, way better softball weather in the fall than when the Wolverines start in the spring, I'll tell you that. 0-2 the count for Fantucci. The righty will foul one off the same exact spot as before.
Heard that go off the roof of the press box. Fantucci graduated from Marist High School and was named by high school. She was named to the All-USA team by today.
Another freshman here in the lineup. Batting righty. She'll foul off the 0-2 once more. That one hitting the netting back behind home plate. Bounces back into play. The Nets here are quite active.
Yeah. She was named a 3-time Region Player of the Year in 2019, 2020, and 2021. And 4-time first team for her region all 4 years of her high school year. But
Fantucci finally goes down on the 0-2, looking. Pitch down the middle, off speed will get her. The Wolverines are finally retired by Toledo, but not before they put 2 on the board.
The next 3 players up for Toledo are Erickson, Dixon, and Griffith. 2 from the outfield and 1 the shortstop. Griffith, the shortstop from the sixth, the error. Pardon me. You were mentioning the weather and how wonderful it is, and it feels like a perfect fall day. It was, in the 40s this morning, gone up to the 60s now,
It's been gorgeous.
I love Ann Arbor in the fall.
It's been a very Michigan day for me too. I'm taking my natural science requirement right now.
Right.
I'm a poli-sci major, so I am in extreme weather. And for extreme weather today, we were actually in the big house conducting temperature measurements across the stadium, trying to determine what exactly is the hottest point in the stadium.
Is it the student section?
It actually is. Yes, at least
knew it.
in the morning.
You just had to know it. What time did you have your measurements?
Now, our class is from 10 to 11 a.m., so students are filing in as early as 10 a.m. Gates open 2 hours before kickoff, so
I mean, that feels like it's a natural conclusion that is the hottest place in the stadium.
one, with as many students as we pack in, given that I think we put at least 1.5 students per seat, if you look at bleacher size in there. Two, just the natural angle of the sun. The warmest spot we measured in the stadium as a class of about 100 people, so a lot of different measurements, was the brown bumper on the brick facade before the start of the student section in the northern corner of the end zone. So, of course, the vinyl heats up faster, but I was taking measurements of everything. At one point, I put my little temperature gun up to the video board to check its measurements. So we were all over the place. Michigan up 2-0 over Toledo as we enter the top of the second. It's Dorkowski back on the mound for the Wolverines after a stellar first inning performance. She'll wind up to deal. First pitch, high, called ball one.
Erickson slowly being given more batting opportunities, more time with the team, as she appeared in 75 at-bats her first year, 82 this year, the prior year.
She'll knock one to short. Wolverines field it quickly. McVeigh to first for the out. A lot of excitement there from Ella McVeigh. Quick play on her feet to Caracabra at first. The Wolverines put one away.
And that's the way you want to do it if you're the Wolverines. One pitch, one out, keep it moving.
Exactly. Dixon steps up for Toledo. Anna Dixon, the outfielder, graduate student, batting lefty. She'll take the first one. Looked like it was low and outside for ball one. Dorkowski back on the rubber, waiting for her sign. Seems to like to move the ball around, find her positioning. She has it, winds up. It's high and outside this time, ball two.
Off-speed pitch, traveled slowly and had a bit of a drop to it. It's a nice-looking pitch, just a bit too far on the right side of the plate. Anna Dixon from Toledo majors in recreational therapy.
Here's the 2-0. Fastball, that one down the middle. Called strike one.
Generous call. Dixon moved back a little bit, thinking it was going to be inside.
I agree. Definitely a generous call there, but I would also say that caught Dixon off guard after the off-speed for sure. Dorkowski just fires these down. She'll go off-speed once more to even the count out at 2. Strike is called. No swing there once more from Dixon.
Dorkowski, such a tricky pitcher to hit. She has the exact same mechanics no matter what pitch she throws. The only way you can really see where the ball is going is her release point at the very end and just watching the movement of the ball. She really mixes up off speed, on speed, outside, inside. She moves all around the plate.
She's a fantastic pitcher and a great weapon for the Wolverines. And, of course, you don't have much time in softball with this field size to determine what's coming. 2-2 fouled back into the netting once more. We've actually had 2 of those. So Dixon staying alive. Dorkowski hitting her marks.
Both of them looked like desperation swings. Not a lot of power on them. Just got to make contact. It's in the strike zone. Dorkowski going fastball after fastball, sensing the kill.
Dorkowski winds up fastball once more down the middle. No swing. The crowd wanted it. The umpire will not give it. So Dixon survives to full count.
Just a bit low. And even the catcher, Tholl, had turned around to the umpire and said, that was low? It was low, okay.
Yeah, Tholl checking what the call was there. Dorkowski returns to the rubber. She'll wind up. Full count deals. This one's popped up down the first base line. It will roll out.
Another swing that just has a little bit of contact on it. That's been characteristic for this at-bat with Dixon.
But that said, on the other hand, it's staying alive right now in fall ball. And Anna Dixon is doing just that. The graduate student, step back in the box. Here's the 3-2 once more. Off speed will get her. Going down looking. And the Wolverines put their second away of the inning.
That was the 10th pitch, the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Yeah, when you're a good pitcher, you find a way to win those battles. You find a way to shorts a full count. The batter keeps fouling him back, getting contact. You find a way to get the strikeout.
Dorkowski did just that. She'll face her next batter real quick. Check swing there. We'll foul it down the third base line. It's a short roller to the dugout. So Dorkowski already up 0-1 in the count. It's Griffith at the plate. Sydney Griffith, a sophomore. Human Resource Management major from Ashtabula, Ohio. The 0-1 is high and outside. Evens the count out.
Sydney Griffith, the Human Resource Management major. As a freshman, appeared on the Dean's List.
All right.
And had a .241 batting average. A threat on the field and off.
There you go. Now Dorkowski will get her looking for strike two. Counts 1-2 now. Wolverines have already put two away. No one on base for Toledo. Here's the 1-2. That one called. Strike three. Toledo goes down. Wolverines have 3 up, 3 away.
2 of them on looking strikeouts. Another fantastic inning for Dorkowski. And now the Wolverines will bring the bottom of their lineup for the second inning. Caracabra, McVeigh, and the pitcher Dorkowski.
So Michigan looking pretty good right now. I mean, of course, they're not playing any sort of Big Ten opponent. They're keeping things local with Toledo, Ohio. But the Wolverines are in that spot where you want to see them in the fall. The team is performing well. Toledo's made some errors. This should be a 0-0 game. But definitely no question about Michigan's defensive prowess. They've been on top of it. Ella McVeigh with a slightly more challenging than routine play there. Things are looking good for the Wolverines.
Dorkowski is in the lineup, in the lineups we were given as a batter. She has not batted at all with her time here at Michigan with the Wolverines. It's going to be interesting to see. And up at the plate is Riley Caracabra.
And this is the name that threw me for a loop earlier.
We were trying to sound it out in the booth. C-A-R-R, Caracabra. And her walk-up song is apparently John Cena's theme.
Couldn't really hear the PA announcer. I do love the walk-up song. So she'll step up, the righty. High in the box, takes the first pitch for ball one.
Caracabra out of Riverside, California. Just had 6 appearances last season. 1 start. She had 8 at-bats, so she was a pinch hitter for 5 of those games.
So Caracabra, the junior, looking to fill into her position this year. She'll take that 1-0 for strike 1, evens the count out. Pitcher deals, it's high. Ball 2.
Just 1 single in her 8 at-bats as a sophomore last year. But in the field, she has a fielding percentage of 1,000, 5 putouts, 0 assists, and 0 errors.
She'll take the 2-1. Brings the count to 3-1. That ball was low and away. Sophia Knight on the mound once more for Toledo. She'll deal the 3-1, swing and a miss from Caracabra. Brings us to a full count.
Had a lot of power on that swing. Looks like she was going for a swinging for the fences.
Just got under the ball there. So the count's full. Knight back on the rubber. She has the sign and winds up. Caracabra gets a piece of this one. That's deep into center. Caught by Toledo's center fielder. One of my favorite things about softball is a lot of these hits to the outfield, it's very hard to tell if they're going to get out or not, because that one probably landed 10, 15 feet in front of the wall. But it just comes off with so much power off the bat. That was in no way a pop-up. That was a line drive to center field.
Leah Munson had to run back to her back right, make the catch on the run over her shoulder. An athletic play, but you're right, there was a lot of power coming off that swing.
Ella McVeigh up to bat with the backing track of Umbrella by Rihanna. Love to hear it. First pitch, swing and a miss on strike one.
Super Bowl halftime performer, Rihanna, if I remember correctly.
I know, exciting stuff. Here's the 0-1. She'll foul that one off on the third base side. Coach Tholl grabs it.
Her running swing, more of a check swing that time. Didn't follow through after she made contact, sending it in towards the Toledo dugout.
0-2 the count. She's showing bunt. She'll swing on a off speed. That one to the third baseman, and they'll get the out real quick. So Toledo retires 2 in a row.
The third baseman making good after an error last inning, allowed Livingston to reach home plate.
Now, I'm actually not sure what we just saw.
I don't know either.
Because
McVeigh made it to first, and
neither of us know how that happened.
And Dorkowski is not batting. That's on me. I messed up the lineup card. Mattia back up to the plate. Had a single in the first that went up to the left of second base. Made it to second on the bat by Leclerc, and then made it all the way home on the error by the shortstop from Toledo.
Swing and a pitch on the fastball there. Swing and a miss on the fastball for 0-1. The 0-2 is high and outside. Evens the count at 1. And I don't think we were alone in thinking that McVeigh was called out, because the scoreboard operator threw another out up on the board too. They removed it. So we're not on our own here. Still have no idea what exactly happened. I think the foot must have just come off first base by the first baseman. The 1-1 called strike 2.
Mattia found herself with 2 strikes last time she was up as well. She is a contact hitter. Would not be surprised to see a swing here.
1-2 the count. Mattia back in the back of the box on the left-hand side. She'll take the 1-2. McVeigh goes. Throw is dropped there by the second baseman, but McVeigh successfully steals second. Mattia. Count evens out. I believe it should be 2-2. The board is showing 1-2 right now.
That'll end up showing 2 too. Yeah.
Knight winds up to deal. Fastball outside. Board showing a count of 2-2 here. Sophia Knight on the rubber waiting for her sign. Looks like she has it. She'll throw. Pitch is fouled off into the netting behind home plate.
McVeigh stole 5 bases last year in 56 games, rather. She's a threat to go. Not sure if she's going to try to take third base here. With 2 outs, that's definitely a risky play.
I don't think so. 2-2. That one's going straight to the shortstop. Is it in time? It is. The umpire calls Mattia out on first, but not before she moves McVeigh to third. So with 2 outs now, the Wolverines with a runner in scoring position. So we bring up Aubrey Leclerc.
Leclerc bunted last time, put out by the catcher. That bunt rolled slowly down the third base line.
Very.
did her job to move Matai up.
So Sophia Knight on the mound now. 2 outs. Michigan with a runner on third. She'll deal. It's high and away. We've seen restraint from LeClaire earlier. She'll step back into the box at the midpoint. The lefty holds off on this one once more. It's low and away.
The senior out of Phoenix, Arizona. Didn't play a lot her sophomore or freshman year. Just coming in as a pinch hitter. Starting no games. But last year she was starting in 43 games. Her usage continues to be... she'll continue to be heavily used by the Wolverines this upcoming season.
She'll take the 2-0 to bring the count to 3-0.
Another contact hitter, 315 batting average on her career. Last year, 323 in 50 games played in 124 at-bats.
Sophia Knight finally gets the strike she's been looking for. No swings, not surprising, from LeClaire. 3-1 the count. Looks like members of our baseball team have taken the field for some routine warm-ups or practice over there. I believe that they have a match tomorrow as well. 3-1. LeClaire makes contact. It's foul down the third base line.
As a freshman, Knight appeared as the primary pitcher for Toledo in 34 games, started in 27 of them. Just had a 6-18 record to show for it, and an ERA of 6.56.
3-2, full count. Pitches low. LeClaire takes a walk to first base. And an errant throw back to the pitcher. Spills over to the shortstop. And, well, it's just not Matai, excuse me. It's McVeigh keeping Toledo on their toes as she takes a quick jump from third after that ball spills over. She'll return to third.
Made a little move to see is the ball going to go into the outfield or not. Do I have the time? Smart choice to move away. Timeout
now
for Toledo as they go have a meeting at the mound. Try to figure out, okay. We caught Sealer swinging last time. We know she's a powerful hitter. How do we defend? What's the play here? Do we go to second, try to get the easy force out? You know, LeClaire might take a lead. You know, it's not worth it.
So 0-1 the count on Sealer. Runners on second and third. Focus now entirely on home plate. Pitch is low for ball one. Toledo catcher will challenge. Third base umpire says no, she did not on the check swing.
Smart base running by LeClaire. Force out now only at first base.
Here's the 1-1 to Sealer. She'll pop this one up down the left field side. It's high in the air in foul territory, and a Toledo fielder is under it. Toledo retires this side. Michigan leaves two stranded on second and third.
It's another inning for the Wolverines where they go through five. Plus batters. Wolverines showing that they are a powerful team coming off of a 2021 Big Ten championship. 2022 didn't go their way, but they're still a good team. They're always a threat to win the Big Ten. Always.
Kind of the Carol Hutchins mantra, the legacy she leaves here with Michigan is just, no matter what you think of this team, don't expect anything. Or don't expect anything from them, but like always watch out. If they're not ranked well, don't think about that. They're going to do well. The Wolverines, they've got a lot of grit, and they always pull it together no matter what people are saying about them at the start of the season. And it doesn't always work out in the end. It didn't work out last season for Michigan, but they always put in their best effort, and it normally takes them far.
I mean, they were 14-8 in conference play last year. We're getting them fifth in the division. They made it all the way to the championships, losing that game 3-1 in 8 innings to Nebraska, the eventual champions. They had to beat Maryland 7-0, Northwestern 2-1, on the way to get to the conference championship for May 14th.
I mean, you lose in the conference championship. It's tough, but playoffs leave all but one a loser, right?
Yeah.
So I know that if you don't win, you're last, right? If you're not first, you're last, but Michigan has something to be proud of with regards to last season.
And in the Super Regionals, Michigan made it to the regional finals, losing to UCF, the top 25 team, UCF.
That was tough with both NCAA tournaments because the Michigan baseball team with the tough loss to Louisville in their NCAA tournament. Dorkowski back on the mound for the Wolverines as we get underway. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike one. Here's the 0-1. That one looked down the middle to me. Umpire won't give it to Dorkowski. Counts even at 1.
The batter for the Toledo Rockets, Molly Ryan, out of Manhattan, Illinois. She is a junior.
1-1, high and outside. Brings the count to 2-1.
Last year, Ryan had his .273 batting average, 3 home runs. And those 3 home runs coming on just 22 at-bats. She goes yard often.
2-1 from Dorkowski. She going yard here? No. It's a pop-up to shallow left. Ellie Sealer's under it. The Wolverines will retire her. 1 out now. A few waves away from the crowd. A few more listeners now. If you're just tuning in, welcome. This is WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's softball versus Toledo. Michigan up 2-0 over Toledo. I'm Owen Crain alongside Josh Tenzer. Midway through the top of the third, 1 out. Dorkowski deals first pitch of the second batter here.
Maris Barbado at the plate for the for the Rockets.
Called strike 1 there.
In 30 at-bats, she reached base on just 6 of them.
And she'll knock one to LeClaire at third. Easy out for the Wolverines. Wolverines put 2 away in 2 at-bats.
And this brings up the top of the order for Toledo. Second time around. Leah Munson with the fly out to second base. A little pop out there. The lefty.
She'll step into the back of the box. Dorkowski looking at the signs on her left wrist. She'll deal. Fastball. That one right down the middle. Called strike 1.
Dorkowski's speed is something to marvel at. When she gets the fastball call, it's one of the fastest pitches I've seen here at Alumni Field.
Absolutely. And she'll go the same way again there. Strike 2 called looking on Munson. Dorkowski takes a moment to breathe on the rubber. She's got the ball. She's looking at her sign on her wrist. 0-2 the count. She'll deal. That one just outside. There's always that moment of silence in the crowd when the umpire hasn't quite said anything yet, but you still have the opportunity for them to yell. Not there. 1-2 the count.
There are so many small moments of tension in baseball and softball that are so exciting. You know, my roommate's a big fan of saying that baseball and softball are only exciting when there's, players on base or when it's extra innings. No. Softball and baseball are always exciting. Every single pitch, you have no idea what's going to happen. It's a home run, strikeout, one of the best sports out there.
There's an inherent beauty in it. You do need to have the patience for it, and some people just don't. The 1-2 was fouled back. We'll go at it again. This one popped up to shallow right. Langford's under it, and she'll make the play. Wolverines retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. So we head to the bottom of the third. Michigan up 2-0 over the Toledo Rockets.
Wolverines going to have their cleanup 5 and 6 hitters, Livingston, Tholl, and Langford. None of them have hits on the day, but all reached base. Livingston on an error from the shortstop, Tholl on an error from the third baseman, and Langford got walked. So they're all 0 for 0 on the day.
So an opportunity to beef those stats up with some fall ball play here. Looks to me like Sophia Knight returns to the mound here for Toledo. Bottom of the third of what I believe is 7. I don't think the rules are any different here in the fall. We might see some interesting substitutions as we near the end of this game, but right now we're on the way. The sun is beginning to set. Light hue of yellow, or maybe I should say maize, out on the left-hand side. And I think
maize and blue sky.
it is a maize and blue sky. And I think Alumni Field absolutely is one of the best skylines in Ann Arbor. You got Yost Arena, Ray Fisher Stadium, the Ford School of Public Policy, the Ross School of Business, all towering off in the distance. Then
We've also got the natatorium, the Canham Natatorium, where the water polo team plays.
Yeah. Natatorium, the intramural sports building, the got the Burton Bell Tower out in the distance, and then I can't think of the graduate residences, but you can just catch a peek of them.
The Munger Munger?
Munger,
right?
yes, that's it. Livingston will start us off, as you mentioned earlier. First pitch he sees, fouled back into the netting. Not important to our listeners, but Tenzer, did the baseball team get a new batter's eye? I think they did. That it's a larger blue structure than I remember before.
I have no idea, but that's very possible.
I think it's new. It's very big. Definitely towering over the scoreboard here at Alumni Field. 0-1 the count. Knight returns to the rubber. She'll deal. Livingston got a piece of this one. It will drop in between the right fielder and the center fielder. She'll make it to first for a single. Wolverines, 2 pitches in to the bottom of the third, have a runner on first.
That brings Tholl to the plate. Tholl popped up high up in the air on the third base side. Only made about halfway to third base before the third baseman for the Toledo Rockets, Kroll, came in and dropped the ball on a routine pop-out. You can hear the fans starting their own "one side says go, one side says blue" chant.
I love it. I think, football pulls the most fans. Basketball and hockey have some fantastic environments, but softball fans may be the most passionate. I know that we have some listeners right now who tune into every game we broadcast, and that cannot be said for any of the other sports we cover. Tholl steps up to the bat, or to the box. This one will get through. Center fielder will grab it. She'll move the runners around. Runners on first and second now. Kiki Tholl with a single here. No outs. Michigan in a threatening position now. Can I also compliment Tholl's walk-up? Whitney Houston, fantastic.
That brings up the freshman Indiana Langford. Just 5'2". She's short and speedy. Plays the entire outfield and second and short throughout her time in high school.
Lefty shows bunt. It's over her bat. That one will get away from the catcher. Wolverines will move from first and second to second and third. So now, threatening scoring position.
The pitch went just high.
Just tight.
Probably going to call it a passed ball in the official score sheet. And it clipped the top of the catcher's glove.
She did attempt to bunt, so called strike 1 as well. Knight back on the mound, deals. This one's low and away for ball 1. And for the WCBN faithful out there, we have a suite of games tomorrow, 4 broadcasts. You've got 2 softball here, Tenzer.
Yeah.
Hockey opening night, and of course, football at Iowa. The 1-1 is low and away, same spot as last time to bring us to 2-1.
The Iowa crew should already be on the road.
Yes, Adam commented, Adam Bressler, our station director, commented, bumper-to-bumper traffic on I-80.
Yeah.
Adam, if you're still listening, I hope the traffic is flowing a little freer now.
That's a game that's concerning, the Iowa game.
Well, I say let's move that to our mid-inning slate.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just all very nervous about that game.
The 2-1 called for ball 3. So Sophia Knight not hitting her marks here. She'll deal with the 3-1. This one fouled off by Langford, netting back behind home plate.
Langford said that one of her high school coaches played softball in Michigan, is why she came here. A Californian native comes out to the Midwest.
Hey, that's a big choice. Check swing will send this one down the third base line. They're going to go for the force play. Tag is attempted. Won't make it in time. The Wolverines score 1. Meanwhile, Langford makes it to second.
The single by Langford brought Livingston in, and then while they went for the tag out at home plate, Langford sneakily took second, and now Tholl is on third. So 2 batters in scoring position, no outs. The pressure is on for Sophia Knight with already 1 player reaching home plate this inning.
It's tough to get neither the out or prevent the run there. First pitch to Fantucci, called strike 1.
Fantucci not in the field, the designated player.
I like that designation. The righty swings at the second pitch she sees. That one fouled into the netting on the near side. Tenzer, one caught you by surprise?
I jumped. I forgot that the net was there. I thought it was coming at us. I moved out of the way of the open window.
I would love to catch a ball through this window. That would be fun.
That'd be very impressive.
Yeah, that when I say I'd love to catch a ball, I mean I would love to reach my hand out for a ball and watch it break a finger or two.
Yeah. Fantucci out of Atlanta, Georgia.
And the 0-2, she'll swing. That one's going right back to Knight, who throws to first, but the first baseman drops it. The Wolverines will score 1. Oh, my God.
This is a little tough to watch, I'm not going to lie.
Toledo's falling apart.
The ball came to Sophia Knight. Sophia did what was right. She turned towards third base. She knew she had time, so she looked at the third baseman and looked at Tholl, made sure Tholl didn't go home. Then, with that secured, it's not going to be a run, turned back to first, and her throw was just a bit down the line from where the first baseman was. First baseman reached out her glove, couldn't catch the ball, and now, Fantucci made it to second on the error. Langford now at third, and Tholl went home, so it's 4-0 Michigan Wolverines in the bottom of the third off of, the third fielding error by the Toledo Rockets.
I think the toughest thing of all of it, and you can hear the crowd excitement in the background, is Knight has done everything right. You mentioned it. She looked third. She threw first. It was a routine play that she did correctly. In her fielders, her defense failed her once more. Of course, fall play, it doesn't have the ramifications of spring play in any way, but still, it's tough to watch.
Yeah, you're right. There's no, the standings don't count, but you gotta go to sleep at night and you gotta think about the game you had the day of.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be definitely some film in the film room of this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Coming up for Toledo.
I hope Toledo's filming it. Caracabra up to bat. She'll pop one up into shallow right. That one. The fielder drops. It was a routine play once more, and it drops in fair territory. The Wolverines score at least 1.
I'm running out of words to describe what is happening. A fly ball, the right fielder for Toledo, Dixon, got under it, and another pop fly that goes in and out of someone's glove.
That's tough to watch.
And now again, 2 players in scoring position for the Wolverines as Fantucci moves to third and Langford goes home. I don't have words.
Michigan up 5-0 now over the Toledo Rockets as Ella McVeigh steps up to bat, the righty, to the far back of the box.
She's the 6th batter
Knight
that Toledo's going to face.
Feels she'll get it to the second baseman, who quickly grabs it. They look to turn 2. They don't. They'll get McVeigh at first.
That was a interesting, almost bad moment for the Wolverines as McVeigh hit a slow roller down the infield. Fantucci didn't go from third to home like Caracabra thought she was going to, so Caracabra made her way halfway to third base before having to turn back.
She did make it back in time, although they did attempt to get her out, so credit to her speed, making it back plenty of time. It's Ellie Mataya up to bat now, the lefty, and about the midpoint in the box. Took the first pitch for ball 1.
Her third plate appearance in 3 innings.
Yeah, that's tough. So Knight will deal. The 1-0 is down the middle, no swing, called strike 1.
She's also the 7th batter faced by Knight this inning. This inning that doesn't seem to end.
And this inning that Toledo only has 1 out in, getting McVeigh a moment before. 1-1's high and outside. Ball 2. They have 3-0 on the board.
And the ump is correcting the scorekeeper.
Yes, that should be 2-1, I believe. But they'll put 3-1 on the board. We'll see where this one goes. Deals from Knight. Quick. That one a straight shot into left field. Caught. Nice little sliding catch there from Toledo's left fielder. Michigan's runners go nowhere.
Real good form on the sliding catch. It was a baseball feet first slide in the grass. Got her glove braced by her legs. Just a basket catch. Beautiful outfield work there by the left fielder Erickson. And now 2 outs. Runners on second and third.
LeClaire will step up with those runners on second and third. Knight under pressure. First pitch swung on. That one's going to get past the center fielder, making it all the way to the wall. The Wolverines will score 2. LeClaire making it to third easily. She's at third in time. It's a triple, a 2 RBI triple. The Wolverines move up to 7-0 over the Toledo Rockets.
Getting a big hug from Coach Tholl. And if you're for a debut, this couldn't have gone much. This, for now, couldn't have gone much better.
Hey,
for Tholl.
Toledo's made so many errors, they could vastly improve
Certainly.
in an inning.
And
if
now,
they pull it together.
Sealer at the plate. Also her third appearance in 3 innings. She flew out to left field her last time up, and she is the 9th batter faced this inning all the way around the order.
The off speed from Knight is down the middle for called strike 1. Sealer back in the box. Fastball. She'll knock that one. It lands, and that's an RBI single for her to center field. Wolverines are just doing everything right now.
That brings Livingston back up to the plate. Livingston. Oh, they've made a substitution. Janelle Ilequois.
Janelle Ilequois in the box, the righty. Swing and a miss on the first pitch she sees. That's a fastball down the middle. The freshman with their first appearance of the season in the maize and blue outfit. Of course, it is the home whites today, but she'll step back into the box. 0-1 the count. Knight deals. Swing and a miss once more.
Ilequois out of Fort Mill, South Carolina. 4-time South Carolina Softball Coaches Association All-State Selection.
And she'll take a moment with Coach Tholl as Toledo brings a coach out to the mound. They bring the whole infield in. Quick chat. Doesn't look like they'll be making any sort of changes. More game plan with 2 strikes and 2 outs to end this inning here.
Her head coach, Josh Fisher, was quoted when she left her high school as saying, "She's one of the most gritty, gutsy, and athletic performers I have ever had the pleasure of coaching. Looking forward to seeing how she does her freshman year here at the University of Michigan."
0-2 the count. She's back in the box. Fastball. That one a little outside, called for ball 1. And Tenzer, I don't know how you find all this information so fast, and I can't decide if it's really impressive or you should just be doing Oppo research for a politician at this point.
I'm going to stay out of politics. Thank you very much.
1-2, knock to the shortstop. Toledo finally makes the routine out, and they retire the side, but not before the Wolverines put up 6 to make it an 8-0 game after 3.
And now Mara, Kroll, and Reid will be up for Toledo. They were up in the first. That was a strikeout, a walk, and a strikeout. Both of the strikeouts swinging.
All right. So we'll see what happens here. Shall we talk Iowa while we get a chance? Thoughts on this upcoming game?
So the weird thing about last week and Michigan versus Maryland is that Maryland is either better than we thought or the Wolverines are in trouble defensively. Now, that's not a big problem against Iowa, a team that won 7-3 without scoring a single touchdown. My favorite football game of all time. But their defense is so good, and with Cade McNamara out and injured, the questions now arising of it's JJ's ball. He has to do it. We can't move back to Cade for some of these slower plays. Can't platoon him quite like Harbaugh thought he was going to be able to do, even with JJ having starting.
Now, watching JJ, there were a few moments when, especially when he took that sack against Maryland, was he doing too much? Was he moving too much, you think, leaving the pocket too early?
There were a lot of times he left the pocket where he didn't need to. The coverage, the linesmen were still there. Sure, there was some issues with coverage as our wide receivers, tight ends couldn't break away from Maryland's cornerbacks and safeties, but it's definitely a concern that McCarthy tries to make every play something magical instead of just doing the normal routine pacing sort of thing that Cade McNamara was so well known for in his year that he brought the Wolverines to the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
And with such a good defense of Iowa, there's going to be another week where Michigan receivers are going to have a hard time finding open space. You're going to have to rely on Blake Corum a lot. But then again, the run defense of Iowa is another strong suit.
It'll be a game to watch. Adam Bressler, Zach Linfield, and the gang on the call tomorrow, noontime. Stream it here, WCBNsports.org, and the WCBN Sports YouTube channel. Back into softball play in the top of the fourth with Toledo at the plate. It's number 9. Doesn't look like she was on the initial roster here.
That is still Mara.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Looks like I messed up. Oh, I was looking at the wrong roster. That's embarrassing.
Nah, it's all good.
So Mara at the plate. 1-1 the count. It's still Dorkowski on the mound for the Wolverines. On the 1-1, fouled back into the netting behind home plate.
And Mara, who was caught swinging at a low strike 3 her last time up, finds herself 1 strike away from being out on strikes 2 times in a row.
That's Dorkowski will do that to you. She has her sign and will deal. Off speed, high and away. Brings the count to 2-2. The Wolverine faithful staying strong as the sun sets. That maize and blue sky growing stronger every minute. 2-2. And Mara goes down swinging. So the Wolverines retire 1. This will bring up Kroll for Toledo.
Last year, Aaliyah Mara struck out just 14 times in 80 plate appearances. She's down on strikes twice in her 2 plate appearances so far.
Once more, a testament to Dorkowski's strength on the mound. First pitch to Kroll. Missed the call on that one, and they haven't put it up on the board. My apologies. Called for ball 1. There it is. She'll deal once more. That one high and outside. Ball 2.
Kroll, a Michigan native, playing ball in Ohio.
The junior, batting righty, will take the first strike of her at-bat. The 2-1 count now.
She took a step back sophomore year. She had a 305 in 131 plate appearances her freshman year, and last year just a 268 in 127. Still got 6 home runs and 26 RBIs. So her actual slugging improved just a little bit to a 591 with 11 walks and 5 hit by pitches.
Kroll will foul back the 2-1 to even the count out at 2. The righty swinging from the back end of the batter's box. Dorkowski deals on the 2-2. It's high. Brings us to a full count.
Kroll got walked her last time up.
Dorkowski looking at the opportunity of doing that once more. 3-2. Here's the pitch. That one fouled into the netting behind home plate. We'll do it again.
In the field for Jenna Kroll, the shortstop, had one error today. She also has 24 total in her 2 years with the Rockets.
She'll foul back the 3-2 once more.
It's a hard swing and a hard pitch, just barely making contact.
Yeah, that fastball almost caught her off guard there. Dorkowski pulls it out of her pocket when she needs it. And if you're not ready for it, it'll get you. So credit to Kroll for at least making contact as that one went back. 3-2 still the count. 1 out, no one on. She'll go with the off-speed. Kroll thought she had it. Called. Strike 3.
That's 2 strikeouts for this inning for Dorkowski, bringing her total up to 6. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and now 2 in the fourth. Just one player has reached base so far this game, and that was Kroll on a walk in the first.
Aubrey Reid steps up to bat, the righty. We saw her earlier. She'll foul back the first pitch she sees. A soaring fastball from Dorkowski. Or searing. Maybe that's the word I was looking for.
You mentioned that there's a doubleheader tomorrow. Central Michigan, the opponent in both games. And then the week after, Michigan faces Bowling Green. And the one after that, Detroit Mercy to end the fall slate of exhibition games.
A decent local slate. And a good opportunity for the Wolverines to get some playing time in before they take a break over the winter season. Get back at it when it's way too cold in Ann Arbor.
I think that's why they start. I mean, they play in February. They start like in Florida, I'm pretty sure, right?
In Michigan, or WCBN for that matter, will be there.
We do travel for softball. So it's one of the more entertaining trips that the station takes.
Entertaining and, of course, softball. The softball faithful, I know some of you are with us now, covering even the fall season. Supporting us through the trips in the early spring season. So the 1-2 will drop there. Toledo has a runner on base for the first time in a few innings.
It's also the first hit of the game. I know it's just through 3. And it's, out of 7. My brain, as soon as I thought the words no-hitter, next batter up, reaches base.
I can't say I was even tracking that just yet, but Aubrey Reid, a shallow hit to center field. That one drops. She has herself a single, and with 2 outs, the Wolverines have to deal with a Toledo runner on first. She'll actually be pinch ran. Get a look at the number they brought in. It's number 10. Pinch runner will be Lily Beyer, the shortstop, or a shortstop, senior from Freeland, Michigan, the runner. It'll be Erickson. Or excuse me, it will not be Erickson. It'll be Akira Reid, wearing number 33 for Toledo. A junior studying environmental science up to bat. First pitch she took for ball 1. I'm not sure if there's a relation to Aubrey Reid or not.
They are sisters.
All right.
The one at the plate's just 2 years younger than her older sister.
And, well, family ties to the Toledo Rockets. Now, Arkia Reid, tricked out by the off-speed there, chased the slow one. So the count's 1-1 now. Dorkowski deals, off-speed again. That one's a quick roller back to Dorkowski. She tosses it to Caracabra. The Wolverines retire the side. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. So we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Wolverines went to the bottom of the 4th with Tholl, Langford, and Fantucci, all who got to home plate today on the last inning number 3. That monster 6-run of an inning, and now the Wolverines up 8-0. The question is, I know that in the NCAA, there's sometimes a mercy rule when a team is up after 5. If they're up by 8 runs or more, that's got to be playing in the minds of the Toledo coach.
Yeah, and I just don't know how that falls into fall ball play. You have to think that Coach Tholl might just want her players to get the experience no matter. Like, I understand if it's the spring season, especially when it's cold outside, but no matter the spring season, the threat of some sort of injury during a game means that if you can end it, you might as well end it. But in this sort of situation, and I don't have any experience to back my assumptions up, I might expect that they keep playing.
It's also a big day in the MLB, the most important regular season series, I would dare say, since 2012, with the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves just 1 game apart for that top spot in the NL East, and really who will face the Dodgers in the championship series versus the division series. And that game number 1 starts at 7:20 p.m.
What network is it tonight?
I want to say it's on SNY. I think it's just on local networks.
So you're gonna have to be an MLB TV guy if you're out of the region.
Yeah, and it's free for all students.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I have
till
T-Mobile.
the end of the season. Oh, I see. So you already got
I got the MLB TV through
Yeah.
T-Mobile. The one good thing about T-Mobile in Ann Arbor, I guess.
I tell you what, it is life changing.
T-Mobile or MLB
No,
TV?
the MLB TV. MLB TV is life changing. I paid $3 to be able to listen to all the games on radio the day before they made it free for all students. It's
At least it was $3.
yeah.
It's Kiki Tholl at the plate to start us off in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch she took for strike 1. Now, looks like we have a new pitcher. Tholl going deep to the left field side. That one is out of here. First home run of the fall season for the Wolverines. Michigan up 9-0 over Toledo after Kiki Tholl launches one to the moon.
That was about a 250-foot shot straight away left field, about 20 feet to the right of the foul pole. And the team comes out of the dugout to congratulate Tholl. It's a moonshot.
Moonshot that now, I believe that fully cleared the video board.
I thought that was all right.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it landed in that fenced area just in front, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
I might be wrong.
It's just far.
It was very
far.
She knocked that one. We'll have to return to gameplay. Indiana Langford up to bat now for the Wolverines. Tough act to follow. Shows bunt on the first one, and in the excitement I did miss the call, and they've yet to put it on the board. It is a ball, so 1-0 the count.
Tholl struggled last year to make contact, just a 185 batting average, but did get 4 home runs and 54 at-bats. Slugging percentage of .519, not too shabby, all things considered.
And she'll take the 1-0 for ball 2. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for Toledo as well. It's Aaron Hunt. 5'5", a righty, the graduate student studying biology and nursing. Throws her 3rd ball in a row here to Langford. And she is a Michigan native, Dansville.
Career RA of just under 3 in 91 appearances. Real starting pitcher. 69 games started, and 21 appearances in relief.
That'll be a walk for the Wolverines as Hunt throws her 4th ball in a row.
Aubrey Fantucci brought to the plate. Made it to second on an error by the 3rd baseman. That was the play where Knight did everything right.
That was just a heartbreaker to watch. So Fantucci takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1.
Heartbreaker to watch can describe a lot of plays we saw today.
Yeah. Oh, my God. The dropped one in right field, too, right after.
The very next play, yeah.
Next play. Runner on first. 1-0 the count. Hunt winds up. That looks like a strike to me. slow fastball. That's what I'd call it. Called ball 2.
Didn't have a lot of movement on it, but was definitely much slower than her normal fastball.
Cotton Candy Skies in Ann Arbor. The 2-0 count. Hunt winds up once more. It's low and away, low and inside. Will bring us to a 3-0 count here. 7 balls in a row for Aaron Hunt. She'll take a breath and deal. And that's ball 8 in a row. She walks. Another Wolverine.
Langford moves to second base. Caracabra up to the plate now. Caracabra, who reached second on the error you're talking about in right field, and then made it home with that base-clearing triple by Leclerc at the bottom of the third.
Yeah, I would say Tholl's home run is probably one of the just realest runs we've seen so far this game. Have we had any runs that were purely off of Wolverine talent?
Mattia made it on an error. Livingston made it to second on a wild pitch, home on an error. Tholl made it to second on a passed ball. Third off of the double by Langford, home on the error. Langford made it to third on the error at third base. Fantucci made it to third on the error in right field. Leclerc made it to third on her own and then made it home on the single by Sealer.
All right.
So I had to go through every single run that the Wolverines scored.
It took a while to find, but we did find it. An unimpeded run. Unimpeded by errors there, at least. 1-1 the count to Caracabra. Caracabra will step back into the box. The righty at about the midpoint of the box.
She's 0 for 1 on the day with that fly out to right field. The error doesn't count.
Aaron Hunt and the Toledo Rockets took a moment to reframe, and it looks like she's hitting her marks a little bit better here. The 1-1 fouled away for a 1-2 count now.
McVeigh on deck. McVeigh, who made it to third during the second inning, but never ended up going home.
Caracabra steps back into the box. Here's the 1-2. It's high, called ball 2.
Aaron Hunt, the senior, has been pretty stellar her first 2 years. Last year, just a bit of a jump with her heavier usage, made it in more games than she ever had before. 22 wins with a 3.58 ERA and 213 innings pitched.
Hunt can't quite find the strike zone on the 2-2. Brings us to a full count. Caracabra back in the box now. Hunt winds up. Full count. This one's fouled off. Looked like she was going for Coach Tholl's head. And a nice duck from the new head coach of the Wolverines there.
Having trouble finding any background information on Aaron Hunt because another Aaron Hunt who plays softball keeps showing up. He's a Brandeis commit who put her 1520 SA2 in her Twitter bio.
All right.
Not sure about. If you got it, flaunt it, I guess.
I like it. 3-2 the count. Caracabra back in the box. Hunt winds and deals. This time it's high and outside, and Hunt's loaded the bases.
She got ahead of Caracabra early. It was a 1-2 count, and that's 3 straight walks for Aaron Hunt. Aaron Hunt, who last year. Let me take a quick look here in the stats.
While you're looking, Ella McVeigh steps up to the plate. The lefty, midpoint of the box. First pitch from Hunt, swing and a miss.
95 walks in 213 inning pitch, so about 1 per inning, roughly. Just under that, and she's got 3 in her 1 inning here.
And it's just Could just be some summer rust coming off here. We've seen her shaping up. She's got a lead in this count, too. Here's the 0-1. It's outside. Good stop by the Toledo catcher. Of course, Wolverines with no outs and bases loaded in a fantastic scoring position. Do they need it? Probably not. 9-0. The Wolverines up. McVeigh back in the box now. Hunt has her sign and will throw. McVeigh gets a piece of this one down the left field line. It's caught. Tagging from third. The Wolverines will score 1. It's Ilaquea coming in, the freshman.
That's one of the more clean plays we've seen by Toledo's defense. The Toledo left fielder Erickson has been almost impeccable in the field. Made the sliding catch earlier, this one on the run. Definitely the defensive star for the Rockets.
And a correction on my proclamation there. I believe that was Langford that scored from third, if I'm correct. If you don't mind double checking that.
That would be what I see too, yes. That would be Langford.
Misread the number there. Not 14, it was 44. So Langford scored for the Wolverines. First pitch to Eli Mataya. Got away back in the backstop. Wolverines won't score one there, but they will advance to second and third. Of course, only Langford made it home on the tag up. Not worth risking it with only 1 out. Count moves up to 2-0 as Hunt, a little shaken here, seems to take a moment on the rubber to take a deep breath, calm herself down. She has her sign and will throw. Lunging for it, Mataya launches this one up. The shortstop cleanly makes the play. Infield fly anyways, I believe.
Yep.
That brings us to 2 outs with runners on second and third. And Audrey LeClaire will step up to bat for the Wolverines. Something about the environment of a setting sun here in Ann Arbor, especially with these temperatures where they are. It's perfect sweater weather, perfect softball weather as well.
LeClaire hit a base-clearing triple her last time up to the plate. This is her 4th plate appearance in 4 innings.
Everyone's getting reps today.
Yeah, she is 1 for 2 on the day. She bunted out in a sack bunt situation in the first, walked in the second.
First 2 pitches to LeClaire, called balls. Hunt, her whole time here, has been struggling to find that strike zone. Troughs and bows here. Here's a hit from LeClaire. Contact to the shortstop. Quick throw to first. She's called safe, and that's an RBI single for Audrey LeClaire.
That was a slow roller down to the pitcher.
She'll drive in. A Wolverine.
Fantucci.
Thank you for correcting me as I could not find it.
You're welcome.
The Wolverines up 11-0 over the Toledo Rockets. Now, Josh, I was not expecting the Wolverines to struggle, but I was not expecting it to be this easy.
Yeah, I got nothing to say about that. This has been a walk in the park for the Wolverines. All they really have to do is make contact with the ball and keep it out of left field, and they've got themselves an ability to get on base. It's been difficult for Toledo defensively, and not because the Wolverines have been putting the pressure on them. Even the routine plays, Hunt didn't charge that ground ball. She stayed in the pitcher's mound. Maybe if she had charged the ball, she would have had a little more time on the throw. It's just the fundamentals and the basics that are really wearing down the ability of this Toledo team to win this game here.
And I guess Western Michigan tomorrow will help to contextualize the Wolverines' strength. We'll see if they really are a ball powerhouse right now, or if this is just an exceptionally bad performance from the Toledo Rockets. And for Toledo, I really do hope that they can come back from this and recover in their future fall games. It's Ellie Sealer at the plate. We've kind of been ignoring her appearance so far. It's 1-2 is the count. So Hunt back on top. There's 2 out. Sealer will make contact here to the shortstop. Force play at first, called safe. That's another RBI single. That's the second play in a row where the shortstop throw didn't make it quite in time. Wolverines put another on the board to make it 12-0 Michigan.
I mean, you also have to give credit to the Michigan hitters, which we haven't been doing as much. Sealer and Leclerc are speedy players. That's what they do. They get on base, so players like Livingston and Tholl can knock them in with the power shots. But,
it goes both ways here. I think, we have some power hitters, and we have some just absolute speed on this Michigan offense. But the Toledo defense just, once we're back in Big Ten play this spring, there will be teams that can deal with that speed and that power on that offense. It's Janelle Ilqua at the plate. My apologies for the pronunciation. The freshman.
Illiqua ended the inning, her last time up. So another inning where all of the batters for the Wolverines have gotten a swing.
Down 0-2 in the count with 2 outs. The 0-2 is high and outside for ball 1. So Illiqua with an opportunity to keep this inning going for the Wolverines. They've already put 4 on the board. That's nothing compared to the 6 they did in the bottom of the 3rd, though. Here's the 1-2. Inside, this time a fastball. Illiqua bowing out. Make sure she doesn't get clipped by the ball there. Count even at 2.
Her last time up, Illiqua grounded to the shortstop. Shortstop who's been struggling to make plays this inning.
2-2 fouled back. That one will leave the grandstand and the facility.
Illiqua took off towards first. I get it. She felt contact, went for it. I respect it.
No, absolutely. Got to start moving.
Yeah.
She'll return to the box. 2-2 still the count. Hunt seemingly hitting her marks a bit better right now. Here's the 2-2 from Hunt. That one outside. Brings us to a full count. For those of you who have never been to Alumni Field, it's a fantastic, gorgeous facility. It is a little boxed in. It's got, at left field, the baseball facility. On its left, a storage facility, and right behind home plate, railroad tracks. 3-2, fastball, just a bit outside, and Illiqua will take a free ride to first. The Wolverines have the bases loaded with 2 outs here on the bottom of the 4th.
The 4th walk of the inning in the day for Aaron Hunt. And that brings up Maddie Erickson, who will come in for Tholl.
Erickson, another freshman here, getting her opportunity to show what she's got for the Maize and Blue faithful. My credit to them. Temperatures have been dropping a bit. The faithful remain in the stands. So again, 2 outs, bases loaded. Aaron Hunt on the rubber, she'll deal. First pitch just outside, same spot as the last pitch. Called ball 1.
If you are Aaron Hunt, you do not want to walk in a run here. You've got 4 walks to your name so far. If it means you have to put a couple of balls into strike zone that are a little slower, a little less movement on them, you risk a home run or you risk a hit. I know it's, with what we've seen so far, it's weird to say this, but you got to trust your defense. Last play has nothing to do with the next play.
And Hunt will get her first strike here, fastball.
Makes a 3-1 count.
I want to say the board is wrong, and it's 2-1. Not 100% sure here. It was 2-1, it turns out. As Hunt, a little low and inside there to bring us to 3-1.
It's fall ball. The scoreboard guys warming up just like we are.
Yeah. We are all sharing the same press box, so we'll keep our voices down. The 3-1 fouled away down the third base line. So a slow roller, but will make its way into the outfield. That'll bring us to a full count. With bases loaded and 2 outs, Erickson has an opportunity to keep the inning alive. If she does, someone's scoring.
The question is Erickson just a pinch hitter? And if so, who do they put on as catcher in replacement of Tholl? Because Erickson is a natural third baseman, and that's...
Ball 4. The 3-2 is low and away. And Hunt walks in the 13th run of the game, the 5th run of the inning. Michigan up 13-0 over the Toledo Rockets in the bottom of the 4th inning at Alumni Field. Oh, great walk-up song.
It's
Indiana Langford, the freshman, wearing number 44, will step up.
Langford with 2 runs on the day. She's got 2 walks and a double, so good eye on her.
I can't think of the name of the song. Crazy in Love? Yes.
Crazy. Is it Crazy in Love?
I don't know. Langford will step up, bases loaded, 2 outs still.
It's Crazy in Love by Beyonce. There you go.
Hunt still on the mound. First pitch low and away for ball 1. We're always towing the line of having enough outdoor mic sound or natural mic sound where you can hear the game, but not enough where YouTube copyrights us for the stadium music.
Oh, I tell you what, that's an impossible battle. I went back into this. I went back once into the all the old videos, see what copyright claims we've got. Turns out "Eye of the Tiger" is the most copyrighted song on WCBN's YouTube channel.
Interesting. Pretty popular sports song. Counts 1-1. Pitches low and away once more. Bring us to a 2-1 count. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Looks like we have a pitcher coming in from the bullpen. Running down to the Toledo base. Or dugout, excuse me. We'll have called strike 2. I don't know if I agree with that call.
Listen, it's 13-0. All right? Sometimes the umpire wants to go home, too.
The off-speed caught the 2-2. Here's next pitch. Check swing. That one off the netting. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Netting on the third base line. Bounces back into play. So 2-2 the count still. Aaron Hunt looking to retire the Michigan side after 5 runs. Langford back in the box. The righty at the back of the box will check swing once more. Ball in the same place off the netting. The third base side.
She's looking like she's trying to aim her swings towards the left side of the field, which is definitely the most defensively sound area for the Rockets. And they've also shifted the shortstop over next to the third baseman.
2-2 the count. Preparing for a ball on the third base side. Another check swing to the same exact spot. Langford just protecting and staying alive.
Taking good hacks at the ball. The shortstop playing a couple hops over over to the left side from in between second and third. There's a big gap in between the second baseman and shortstop.
Hunt deals this time. Langford makes contact. They go to second for the out, and they have it. Toledo retires the side, but not before the Wolverines put up 5 to make it 13-0 after 4.
It's a lot of rest for the Wolverines pitcher.
Yes. And Dorkowski looks like hard to see who will come out of.
Appears to be number 25.
Audrey LeClaire picked up the ball, though, so they'll hand it off to number 21, right-hand pitcher Hannah George, a graduate student from Columbus, Georgia.
She graduated from UNC prior to Michigan, and while she was there, she had a record of 35-23 with a 3.9 ERA and 8 complete game shutouts.
So George,
drew a no-hitter as well with her time with the Tar Heels.
Fantastic. She'll have an opportunity to show what she's got in front of the Maize and Blue faithful. And we will wait and see. I know you mentioned earlier that after 8, you can mercy in NCAA softball play after 5. So theoretically, this could be the last half inning. Of course, I think it does come down to the coaches during fall exhibition play. Chance to see what Hannah George has got. She's announced. Cheers from a slightly thinning crowd here. Really
George
can't blame him.
Threw a 60-mile-per-hour fastball and a 48-mile-per-hour changeup back in high school. I can only assume that's gone up since then as she's gotten bigger and stronger. The, speed of the pitch is hard to come by stat once you get to college. You're not really recruiting anymore.
Definitely tougher, especially just without a pitch clock here at Alumni Field. First pitch of the inning. That's a fastball inside for ball one. Looks to be number 44 up to bat for Toledo. It's Madison Mikulski. She'll foul one off at home, even the count out at 1.
We'll see how the new pitcher does. I mean, we saw the first pitcher for the Wolverines be so dominant. You know, if you're Tholl, that might be all you need to get out of her, all you need to take a look, and that's pitch inside. Spins Mikulski away. Bit too close for comfort for her.
Brings the count to 2-1 here. Mikulski, a junior from Canton, Michigan. Fouls back the 2-1 into the netting to even the count out at 2. The Wolverines in standard formation on the field. Nothing special. Wouldn't expect to see anything particularly special. Up 13-0.
Once Mikulski gets on base, she is a threat to steal. She's got to get there first.
2-2 there from George, ends up in the dirt at least 5 or 6 feet away from home. That'll bring us to a full count. Looks like the off-speed went a little wrong there.
Mikulski struggled mightily last season in 33 at-bats through 25 appearances, just a 121 batting average and a slugging of 182.
She'll stay alive at the plate on the 3-2, fouling that off down the third base side. Off the pads in front of the dugout, sorry.
No, it's all good. She also got herself just 1 RBI and 1 extra base hit. So she's looking to take a step forward, especially after her freshman year. 3 at-bats in 5 games, no hits.
3-2 the count for Mikulski. She'll foul this one back. That'll exit the stadium playings. We have a beautiful sunset that I'm noticing down the Michigan Stadium, just barely in the background if you look down behind the third base side. 3-2, the count remains. Hannah George looking for her first strikeout in her first batter of the game, of course. She checks for her signs on her left arm and deals the 3-2, a fastball called strike 3.
Looked a bit outside. Mikulski thought she was going to be able to take first, started to make the look and turned back to double take when the umpire called it as a strike.
Tenzer, you looked surprised by that call too.
I did. I thought that was on this side of the plate, but you know, that is one of the things about being on this third base line. You don't exactly have the best eye. I mean, we are, from where I'm sitting, directly side on from the plate.
It's a very tough angle, but we make do. First pitch to the new batter, down the middle called, strike 1. It's number 22 at the plate for Toledo. It's Kendra Vander Lugd, sophomore, studying early childhood education from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Here's the 0-1. That'll clip her hand at the bottom of the bat. So Vander Lugd will take first, Toledo's first runner of the inning.
And when you're the Toledo coach, Vander Lugd has no career statistics for her. She, I guess, did not play at all in freshman. No, never mind. Apparently, she appeared in 24 games, primarily at third base, and with a 170 average. Got 1 home run. I think that's her first hit by pitch of her career.
First pitcher, or first batter, Hannah George will hit here of the fall exhibition season. It's Riley Moore at the plate now. Vander Lugd takes quite the lead after that first pitch, called ball 1. George checking the sign on the rubber. A stare right down towards home. She'll deal the 1-0, a fastball called strike one.
Their time in with the Tar Heels, Hannah George did hit 45 batters, having played 465 innings in her 4 years.
George behind in the count. It's 2-1 now to Riley Moore, a senior studying chemical engineering from Bellevue, Ohio. Vander still on first, taking large leads after each pitch. The 2-1's in the dirt. Again, Vander with quite the lead. Moore with her hand out to tell her to stop. Now, I respect the aggressive play from Toledo. I think, especially in the fall season, there's no point in giving up. You just got to try. Maybe beef up statistics, try some things out. Down 13-0, you do have a unique opportunity, especially given that these stats don't really count, to experiment.
The games don't matter. You just got to show who you are and what you can do. Show your strengths.
Absolutely. And George will show her strength with the fastball there, turning a 3-1 count into 3-2 as Moore just watches it fly by into the catcher's glove.
She's got a lot of speed. That's something we've noticed with even the balls that, strike the dirt.
And then the 3-2 there knocked into the netting. It looked like it was headed towards us, and I made fun of you for ducking, but that time we both did.
Like, I know there's the net there, and also there's just a, in the soul, there's a guttural reaction.
It's that, moment where you just, think, oh, my God, it's coming at me.
Yeah.
I used to play hockey and wear full protective padding.
Yeah.
And, as a senior in high school, I was still ducking out of the way, which is so wrong in so many ways. 3-2, fouled back into the bumpers behind home.
You play defenseman?
I was a defenseman, yes.
Big shot blocker?
No. Farthest thing from shot blocker. Traumatized my freshman year by the seniors who I think intentionally would target us. But, good times in high school now. I just like to be on the radio for hockey. 3-2 the count for George. And Moore continues to survive, fouling this one back into the netting once more.
It's nightfall here in Alumni Field in Ann Arbor. The temperature rapidly dropping.
3-2 still the count. I think we've dropped 12 degrees while we've been in 3-2. Finally, we exit as George leaves one in the dirt. Riley Moore takes first, moving Kendra Vander Glutt over to second. Wolverines pitching coach will head to the mound, have a discussion with George.
It's now 58 degrees, supposed to drop to 53 in the next hour, and by the time the parties in Ann Arbor are ending at 1 a.m., it's 47.
It's a Friday. You think they're over at 1 a.m.?
I don't know.
The parties I'm going to are over at 9 p.m., but I don't know what time the real ones are ending.
It's Friday night. I spend my time in services, I'm a practicing Jew. I don't know.
So the Wolverines will end their timeout. George remains on the mound for Michigan.
We'll see if Barbado still at the plate, or they're going to put in another pinch hitter, another offensive substitution that seems to be working for them.
Definitely. One out, runners on first and second for Toledo. Looks like the umps have it figured out. I don't know what that signal he just gave was.
Play ball? Maybe?
He's putting on his mask, so I would say so, yeah. Up for Toledo, number 27. It's going to be Maris Barbado. First pitch to Maris, called strike one on the fastball.
Her last time up, Barbado grounded into a third base, first base put out.
0-1 the count. George looking for the sign. Checks her arm. She has it. And she'll deal. Swing and a miss. Brings the count to 0-2.
Barbado, Ohio native, last year had 3 RBIs. Now she's looking to do some damage with 2 ducks on the pond.
And only 1 out, an opportunity for Toledo, but she'll go down swinging. That's 1, 2, 3 and out for Barbado. That'll bring us to 2 outs here. Toledo looking to make sure they don't leave anyone stranded.
And they'll pinch hit for Leah Munson. Coming in is number 13, it appears.
That's Lexi Ekman for Toledo. She'll step into the box, the lefty in the backside of the box. First pitch from George is low. Called ball 1.
Another Ohio native. She hit .225 last season for a .230 career average. 139 at-bats in her career. Very few extra base hits. In fact, last year she hit no extra base hits, just a big singles.
Big singles, all right. The 1-0, low outside once more. Brings us to 2-0 here. We are now fully under the lights, as you mentioned. The Maize and Blue faithful are sticking with us here, though. So George with her sign, winds up. Here's contact. Hit to LeClaire at third. Wolverines retire the side. Toledo strands 2. It's still Michigan 13, Toledo nothing. After 4.5.
Well, it looks like they're lining up for handshakes, so 4.5 will be all she wrote for this game. As Mercy Rule comes into effect, the Wolverines win this game 13-0 over the Toledo Rockets. They got 10 hits, and Toledo's 4 errors helped them along. Just 1 hit for the Toledo Rockets. I mean, there's not much that can be
there's not much
deduced
to say
from this game.
Yeah, I eagerly look forward to your coverage tomorrow against Western Michigan, as I think we'll really get the opportunity to see. Oh, it looks like the teams are deciding they're going to play another inning.
They said 1 more. All right.
Let's
One
do
more.
it again.
We're going. We're still going.
We'll try it for 1 more. I think Michigan wants to hit 15 on the board.
I mean, that'd be something special. So that game, yeah, they're also going to 1 more. All right. So that game tomorrow, by the way, will be on WCBN 2, as WCBN 1 will have that football game bow down to the football
To our football overlords.
Yeah, I mean,
softball might be a high listenership sport,
but it's
but
no
you're not
football.
going to touch
Yeah.
football.
No. And then the second game will still be on WCBN 2. Just roll it right on over. And then that hockey game that you're talking about, that'll be on WCBN 1 tomorrow. That's a 7 p.m. start time puck drop.
Now, I believe that's exhibition for the hockey team as well.
Yes, it is. They start their actual schedule next week. This exhibition game will be against Windsor. Windsor, I believe, feels like a team from Canada. Because I know Windsor is a town in Ontario that's just across the border from Detroit, so I feel like that's probably where they are. And we start the season against Lindenwood, have a big homestand next weekend. The weekend after that, Boston University rolls to town, and then we travel over to Lake Superior State. And by that, I mean University of Michigan travels over to Lake Superior State, the Lake Superior State Lakers.
Now, William Gregory and I will actually be making that trip. So
really? Okay.
heading up to the UP.
To Sault Ste. Marie, just across the border from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, where the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds play of the Ontario Hockey League. That's home to current Leafs GM Kyle Dubas. Pardon me, my brain just melted for a second. Kyle Dubas, who may be entering his last season. If you want to hear all about hockey news, you can tune in starting this week to WCBN's YouTube page Thursday mornings, and also WCBN SoundCloud page, as In the Slot is coming back for Season 2. That's right, your one-stop shop for all things hockey, hosted by myself, David Kramer, and Big Tex Connor Eargood. That'll be coverage resuming, and we'll keep you up to date on all the NHL and NCAA hockey news throughout the season.
As we fall into that winter season, WCBN is your place for hockey, basketball, and of course continuing football coverage. All the information, WCBNsports.org, and the WCBN YouTube channel and SoundCloud.
And I have been given assurances by our higher-ups that I will be able to cover a swim meet this year. So look forward to that.
I'm very excited for that coverage. Reintroduce the game here. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Michigan versus Toledo. The Wolverines up 13-0 over the Toledo Rockets here at Alumni Field. I'm Owen Crain. Josh Tenzer is on the call as well, just alongside me. It's 0-2 the count to Avery Fantucci in the box. The 0-2 outside. So we go into 1-2. No one on, no one out.
Fantucci struck out looking her first time at the plate, and then in the 3rd inning, reached second base on that error by the 3rd baseman. And then in the 4th, she got walked, reached home in both times that she made it to first. So that's 2 runs for her on the day and 1 RBI. Now she's up at the plate again.
Fouled off the 1-2. So Fantucci high up in the box. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. She'll go down swinging. So Toledo with its first strikeout in quite some time.
That's just their 3rd strikeout on the day. They had 2 in the 1st inning. One of them to Fantucci, as I said before, and then one of them to Sealer. That Fantucci one ended the 1st. And now coming back up is Caracabra.
The Caracabra who steps into the box, the righty, at about the midpoint of the box. First pitch she sees, she swings, it's a big one. That one's deep into center left, and that's out of here. Caracabra moving the score from 13 to 14. And Tenzer, I think they're chasing the big 1-5.
I mean, why not? Her time is up. Her time is now, as the walk-up song says. That's the 2nd home run of the day for the Wolverines. This one, a 205 shot to left center field, and Pump It Up plays on the speakers.
That was a gorgeous hit.
That
gorgeous
was
swing.
Incredible.
I'm wondering if
quite as
Toledo's regretting resuming this game.
You know, I wouldn't. You're down 13-0. The score is a lot to a little. It doesn't really matter what the exact numbers are, but hey, you get yourself more at-bats, more swings, a chance to put one on the board, right?
Great point, yeah. It's a local game. The bus ride home isn't that long. It's nothing to really worry about here.
How much better will you feel if you take one away from one of the nation's powerhouses in softball? If you get at least 1 run.
Absolutely. They'll give it a try. First pitch to Maddie Remy, a freshman here for the Wolverines. Looks like she is a switch hitter. She's on the left-hand side of the box today. 0-1. It's a little outside, evens the count up at 1.
Another dropped ball by the catcher. No one on base this time to take advantage of it.
And it's Annika Johnson on the mound this inning for the Toledo Rockets. The public health major is a junior from Wisconsin. The 1-1 is down the middle. No swing, called strike 2. Johnson returns to the rubber.
Maddie Ramey was a state champion in Michigan.
She has a good eye, too, as she'll let the 1-1 fall to the wayside.
She played for Allen Park, and fun fact, made the last 3 putouts in the D1 softball championship game for the Michigan State Championships.
Wow. Foul tip there on the 2-1, brings the count to 2-2. The scoreboard is showing 3-1. Just a tad incorrect. So here's the 2-2. Ramey gets a piece of this one. It's foul into the Toledo dugout. Excuse me. I'm losing it here. You got 2 more games tomorrow, so.
Yeah, get some rest, get some coffee, right?
There you go.
She was twice named All Downriver League in baseball, 2021 and 2022. Quick timeout here, a little mound visit for Toledo. Tied count, 1 out.
1 out, no runners on.
Pitching coach John Guizdala, who joined Toledo in August of 2022. It's his first game as coach, and his pitchers have been pretty solid today. Definitely not the source of Toledo's woes.
We saw Erin Hunt struggle, but I would say that Sophia Knight, their starter, had herself a game. The defense, it wasn't her that failed. I don't mean to use the word failure in a mean way, but it was the defense that failed her. Meanwhile, Maddie Ramey goes down swinging on the 2-2. The fastball just breezing by her. So bring up number 17 for Michigan, Ellie Mattia.
Quizdala also worked the prior season at WMU, improved the Broncos' strikeout total, whip, and ERA from the prior season to him, and then he left for greener pastures in Toledo.
First pitch to Mattia. Low and away for ball one. By the way, any storylines you want us to look out for to our current listeners, leave them in the YouTube comments. If we don't talk about them today, well, I'm sure Josh will see him tomorrow. Mattia makes contact. That one straight to the second baseman. She'll scoop it up, make the out to retire the Wolverines side. So Toledo gives up one in this extra inning of play. It's 14-0. Michigan over the Toledo Rockets.
So they missed the big 1-5, and Toledo's coming out of the dugout. It was one more. It's just a huddle. They're going back in.
Well, they're not going to play another inning just to play defense there against.
I don't know what was happening. I was very confused.
It's
But that was the most offensively sound inning we've seen from Toledo so far.
Yeah.
There was a home run, but 2 strikeouts. So thumbs up to the Toledo pitcher, and a 4-3 ground out. That was the only inning to not have any base runners for the Wolverines.
And you know that home run, it was just a gorgeous swing.
Oh, yeah.
My God! The moment you saw it, you knew. I don't want to say I knew it was going out, but I knew it was definitely. It was pushing it for sure.
One pitch, one swing. It's all you need sometimes.
Yeah, really was. So we'll take a moment here. After a full 5 innings, Michigan up 14-0 over Toledo. Toledo wants that opportunity to bat again. Get those reps in. It's fall ball, baby. Nothing quite like it. And I maintain my hardline stance that late September ball will always be better than the mid-March home openers we have here in the
Easily. You notice how the window is open and we are not dying of hypothermia.
I don't know how they do it out on the field.
I mean, the field is fine. You're running. You're doing that. It's the dugout. It's how.
I don't know.
Imagine being a bench player.
Those outfielders aren't moving too.
You know what? That's fair.
Back in my baseball days when I wasn't riding the bench, I was always stuck somewhere out in the outfield because in Little League,
nothing's
going out there anyways. So.
That's where I was. I was out in right field. All the kids were righties. They all pulled the ball over to left. Used to be second base before arthritis caught up. I used to be catcher before arthritis caught up with me, actually.
Those are some miserable late April days. I love the sport of baseball. I don't love sitting in the outfield while 11-year-olds bump them back to the pitcher.
It's great when I'm sitting down.
Yeah. Oh, calling a game from the warmth of the press box, I'll take it any day. First few pitches of the inning here. On the mound for the Wolverines, wearing number 12, is Jessica Labou, a junior from Hartville, Ohio. The count's 1-1. She has her sign and deals. Wearing number 3 for Toledo is Rebecca Cottrell. She chased the 1-1 in the dirt. Counts 1-2 now.
Another Michigan native playing on the other side of the state divide.
Not nearly as divisive of a relationship as the Michigan-Ohio State, but anyone from Ohio not receiving the warmest welcome in Ann Arbor. Next pitch from Labou there, high and outside, even us out at 2.
Cottrell still hasn't gotten herself a start in her 3 years at Toledo, playing in just Let me do some quick maths here. Playing in just 20 games, all of them in either defensive substitution or pinch hit situations.
And Rebecca Cottrell goes down swinging. Jessica Labou with her first strikeout here. First batter, first strikeout. So the Wolverines already have themselves a defensive out. No runners on. Number 5 for Toledo at the plate now. It's Jenna Kroll, a junior majoring in exercise science from Commerce, Michigan.
Kroll, one of the few Toledo players to have actually not been subbed out this game. Still 0 for 0 on the day with a walk and 0 for 1 with a walk and a looking strikeout.
Not too many at-bats for the Rockets today. The count's 1-1. Called strike looking there just now from Labou. And Jessica Labou showing off her speed with these fastballs so far. She's on the mound now, winds up. Here's the 1-1. Check swings, got her for the 1-2.
Just 4 total base runners for the Rockets. 1 hit, 3 walks.
1-2 count, looking to stay alive. Jessica Labou winds up, swing and a miss. Jenna Kroll goes down swinging. This extra inning not quite panning out just yet for Toledo. They'll have one more opportunity here with number 4, Sydney Griffith. Looked like we're going from...
I think that's 42,
42.
Leah Tipple, rather.
Excuse me. Jessica Labou winds up and deals fastball. Called strike 1.
Leah Tipple last year made the Dean's List. 3 starts as catcher in 11 games. She got herself a 100 on-base percentage with 1 walk. And a perfect fielding percentage, 13 putouts.
0-1, swung on that one, knocked to right field. If it's still Livingston out there, he was under it.
Number 17 for the maize and blue. And that would be
Ellie Mattia. There you go. Mattia ending the game for us here. It looks like they will officially shake hands in the extra inning of play. The Wolverines put 1 more on the board. They don't quite crack 15. Toledo goes down swinging on 2. Flies out for the last one. It's been a fun game, Tenzer.
It has been. The Wolverines are your victors valiant tonight, and they showed that they are an offensive powerhouse. Sure, you could look at it and say, okay, there were a couple of 7 or 8 runs that the Toledo Rockets kind of gifted the Wolverines.
Yes.
But you still got to get on base.
Yep.
You still got to make it from, first to home, second to home, or whatever. There's still a lot of skill involved with these Michigan offensive players, even if, a couple of breaks went their way.
There is nothing I saw today that worries me about the spring season. Anything Michigan did wrong, they've got months to work out. I'm eager to listen to your coverage tomorrow of Western Michigan, see how that pans out, because I think the Wolverines, they seem to have a special team here. Toledo, not the best, but still a force to be reckoned with. And, Michigan just came out on top with a force.
Last year, Toledo just went 12-37 overall. Not the strongest opponent that the Wolverines are going to face, but it's just great to have softball back in.
It really is. It's fun being on the call this fall, for one. I don't think I'll be back, but I do sure love calling softball, and I love these softball fans, some of the most passionate Maize and Blue faithful in Ann Arbor. For those of you tuning in from across the country, thanks for listening. It's tough listening to a 14-0 game in the fall. We know how much you love the softball team, and we thank you, as always, for your support of WCBN. Any final thoughts, Tenzer?
Tune in tomorrow, 1 p.m., WCBN2 for Michigan's next 2 games of their fall slate.
If you're not tuning in for softball, make it football at noon with Iowa, or hockey at 7 p.m. with Michigan's home opener, of course, an exhibition game. For now, though, that's going to do it for our call. Michigan emerges victorious 14-0 over the Toledo Rockets. For everyone at WCBN, Josh Tenzer, I'm Owen Crain. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, good night and go blue.